Hey there, you looking kinda cute. Please consider subscribing and check out our Patreon for more. Enjoy the video. Miss, my shoulder was shaken by something. Here we are, Miss, the last stop. It took me a while to come to my senses and figure out where here was. Home, or at least the place where I grew up. I looked out the train window and saw the sign written in plain black letters. The place is called Hartsfield. Jesus Christ, was I back for real? I thanked the conductor and let him take my bag down from the rack above the seats. Men like to be needed. I put my coat over my arm, grabbed my bag, and got off the train onto the platform. The place is called Hartsfield. I hadn't been there in over 15 years, and just thinking about it made my stomach feel funny. No one was there to take me home. What's the point? No one knew I was coming because I hadn't told them. I got in a taxi outside the station and told the driver to take me to the Grand, where I had a room reserved for 2 nights. As I sat in the back and watched familiar places go by, I thought about the phone call I had just gotten less than 24 hours before. Hello? No reply. Hello? I repeated. Leslie. The voice, female, seemed strangely familiar, but I couldn't place it. Speaking? Leslie, it's me. June. June? I said, not sure whom she meant. Yes, June, your sister. I finished it for her at this point. My heart was beating fast and my stomach was going up and down. We hadn't talked to each other in months, so I knew something bad had happened. June, I'm sorry, I wasn't awake. I'm still a bit sleepy. What happened? It's... Dad, he is dying. I thought, good. He's looking for you. I don't think that's a good idea at all. But he is very sick. He can't stop calling for you. Does he really? The last time I saw him, he disowned me and never wanted to see me again. He can die. That isn't fair. Fair? I was about to scream. Fair? Don't bring up fairness with me. For God's sake, when I needed him the most, when I wanted him to hug me and tell me he loved me, what did he do? He stopped caring about me. He said it would be better if I hadn't been born. Screw him. I hung up the phone and started crying. I hated to cry, even over a loser like him. I sat on the couch and cried until the tears stopped. Before going to the restaurant for a bite to eat, I changed into a pair of navy blue pants and a white top with short sleeves in my hotel room. I wasn't very hungry, so I just had the Caesar salad and a glass of sparkling water. The restaurant only had 2 other pairs of people. I didn't say a word while I ate and just listened to the low hum of their conversations. When I got back to my room, I called my sister. Hello, June? It's Leslie. Leslie, thank God you called. Look, I'm sorry about yesterday. I overreacted. It's okay. I'm just glad you called. I'm here now. Here? In Hartsfield? Yes, I'm staying at the Grand. You should have said something. We could have gone to the train station and picked you up. You could have been our guest. It might work out better this way. Not true. Mike wants to talk to you. Mike? What is his age now? 10, 11 to be exact. What have you said about me to him? Not a thing. Just that he has an aunt who lives down in the country. He wants to know why you don't come over. I might stop by tomorrow. How is Dad? She groaned. Not well. Not well. People think he will never get out of the hospital. Mom hasn't left his bedside. I changed the subject because I could hear the tears in her voice. What do you say? Why don't you go to the city? We could get a drink together. Learn about the past. She gave it some thought for a moment. Why not? Dave will look after Mike. How is Dave? Same as ever. Says hello, by the way. Right, that's settled then. So that's a done deal. See you around 9 at the bar? It's 9. Now it was 7.30, so I had time to get ready. For my sister, I wanted to look nice. I started thinking about the past. Years ago, my sister and I are having fun upstairs. On her new CD player, we're listening to Madonna. We're both wearing lipstick and miming to Papa Don't Preach while wearing skirts and our mom's high heels. When the door opens, Dad walks in with a smile. When he looks at me, his smile goes away. I stutter, "We were just playing," when I see the angry look on his face. I snap out of my thoughts back to reality. After taking a shower, I put on a plain black skirt and a lilac V-neck sweater. With a little bit of lipstick and a little bit of perfume, the job was done. I looked at myself in a full-length mirror with a lot of nerves. I told myself, "You look fine. There's no need to worry, just because it's been 15 years since you've seen your sister." I took a deep breath, got my purse, and went to the bar. June wasn't there yet, but it wasn't even 9 o'clock yet. I got a gin and tonic at the bar and sat down at a table by myself, making sure the door was facing me. After 10 minutes, June came in. She had been lucky over the years. Not much had changed about her, but not me. A lot had changed in me. She took a look at the whole bar. Her eyes looked at me, then went somewhere else, then came back to me. "Where is Leslie?" I gave a nod and got up. She came over quickly and gave me a big hug. "I want to see you." She looked at my clothes, my hair, and my makeup and said, "You look great." I felt really happy for no reason. "You yourself look great. You are still the same." "Well, yes, I have." And that made us both laugh out loud. Even though some people turned to look at us, we kept laughing. By the time we stopped, I had a pain in my side. June got us both drinks. A second G and T for me and a glass of white wine for her, and then sat down next to me. "So," she said as she lifted her glass, "let's drink to my sister." We raised our glasses and drank. After a short pause, June spoke up. "Tell me something about you." While she is talking, I start to daydream again about the past. I'm praying at the side of the bed because it's time for bed. I pray, "Dear God, please make me a little girl." When I hear the stairs creak, it's already too late. My dad walks in, looks at me, and then hits the roof. You make me feel sick. And then he hits me. I fall down and he grabs my arm, ripping the dress I'm wearing in the process. He gets mad when he sees the strap of the bra I'm wearing underneath. It turns him into a fury. My dad was a horrible being. After June left that night, I went to bed and tried to sleep. June had made plans for the next day to pick me up. We were going to the hospital after lunch, which she was going to make. I felt afraid. I was nervous to meet my nephew for the first time. I was scared to meet my brother-in-law, but Dad scared me the most. I took a walk around town the next day. I wanted to get Mike a gift. How could I be a good aunt if I didn't have a present for my only nephew? I bought a Nintendo Switch and a few games for it. I may be a woman now, but I used to be a boy. I bet he likes these games too. June called the hotel around noon. I decided to dress conservatively for the hotel visit, so I put on a black trouser suit, a plain white blouse, and a pair of shoes with low heels. Pearl earrings and a necklace that goes with them finish off the look well. A little blush, some mascara, and some lipstick were all I used. At June's house, Mike and Dave were there to meet me. "Your Aunt Leslie is calling, Mike." I put out my hand and said, "Nice to meet you." When he didn't take my hand and instead hugged me, I thought I would cry. Dave is his name. He was a tall man and he towered over me. I was scared for a second. He smiled and said, "It's great to see you again after all this time." I was helping June make lunch in the kitchen when she said, "Dave is one of the least judgmental people I know. I love him because when I told him about you, he just shrugged his shoulders and went back to reading the paper. Salad and homemade hamburgers made up lunch. The talk was casual and easy to follow. It was clear that Dave loved June, and Mike had the same laid-back style as his dad. I was happy for my sister, but I was also a little bit jealous. I know it was rude of me, but I couldn't help myself. I was mostly happy for her, though. We left the boys to their own devices after lunch and went to the hospital. June must have thought I was nervous because I was so quiet in the car. I was really scared. Don't worry. He's just an old man trying to make things right. I black out again in my thoughts thinking about the past. Mom is sobbing. June is sad. I'm so sad. Dad has come back home. Even to say hello, he won't even come out. I hope I never see him again. I'm going to wear heels and dance on his grave. Since the surgery and various follow-up procedures, I hadn't been in a hospital. So many things came back to mind when I smelled that hospital smell. We stopped in front of the room. "Are you set?" I agreed. "I'm as ready as I can be." June was the first one in, and I was next. Mom was next to his bed. When we walked in, she turned around. "Hey, Leslie." She ran over to me and gave me a big hug, ignoring June. "Hey, Mom, you are beautiful." I blushed and said, "Thank you. How is he?" "He is currently sleeping. He can't stop calling for you." And that's when my dad woke up. "Who is Leslie? Who's that?" "Sure, Dad. Here, please. I want to see what you look like." I moved toward the bed. He was so old and weak-looking. Not the tall, scary man I remember from when I was young. The skin on his face was as thin as paper, and I could see blue veins running through it. He told me to come closer. "You came?" "Yes. Many thanks." He put out his hand, and I hesitated for a moment before taking it. How could I help? He was my dad, and he was about to die. I wasn't mad at him. Now, no longer. Life was too short to hate people all the time. All I ever wanted was for him to love me and treat me with respect, something he had given me for free until he found out I was different from the other boys. I looked at the way my hand was holding his. My hand, with its nails that are trimmed and painted. He said something in a whisper. "Pardon!" I got closer to him until my ear was close to his face. "I'm so sorry." "It's all right, Dad," he said. "No, that's not okay. I can never make up for what I did. What I did was wrong in every way. I didn't get it at all. I shouldn't have turned you down. I mean, just look at you. You're a very pretty woman. When she was your age, your mother looked just like you do now. I wish I could make things right. You're my daughter, and I'm happy about that." He had never told me before that he was happy with me. I realized it was tears when I felt something run down my cheeks. I looked back at my dad, but he was already asleep again. I left him there and went to find my mom and sister after fixing my makeup in the ladies' room. I think about the past. It's late in the day, and the sun is just starting to go down. My father and I are sitting by the river. We went fishing all day and didn't catch anything. It makes no difference. The day has been great. He died 2 days later, but before that I had spent a lot of time with him at the hospital, talking and telling him about my life, the surgery, and everything that had happened since then. He listened carefully, and his mind was so sharp and interested that I was amazed. I read at funeral, and the priest told the people there that I was Leslie, Tom's daughter. In the church, there was a low murmur, but that was to be expected. After 3 days, I left Hartsfield. Again, I cried, but this time I knew I would come back. Thanks for watching. Be sure to check out Patreon for a lot more content and early access to YouTube videos.